I'm Mia Karlsson, the founder of Mia Karlsson Interior Design. Welcome to our Hampstead project. So this is a Hampstead family home that has 2 adults and 3 children living in it, which is a super active family. They have loads and loads of things going on in their lives. So the house had to be created to contain lots of hidden storage and practical aspects of every single centimetre and inch of this property. The hall is beautiful, but actually when we came through here, when we started the project, we changed all of this. There was no view to the garden. There was a door here into a sort of living room. It was doors everywhere, but none looked nice. So what we created, this beautiful arch, first of all, taking you through to the back of the house, but you can see through this archways all the way to the garden, which is lovely. Before it was a toilet there, not even joking. These glazed arch doors, bespoke, and some hidden storage. And in here, all the children's equipment. They're great skiers. And in here, there's a lovely guest WC. In here, we have cloakroom storage. So everything there is a space for the whole family to come in, and that's why the hall can look so clean and neat, because you can put things away in all those hidden cabinets. So now we're going to go through to the kitchen. The whole style of the house is simple, traditional, so it's shaker style. We have a nice dark herringbone floor, but the materials are very simple, so it's not too ornate. It's a clean lines, but it still has that nod to tradition. So marble, obviously it's beautiful wherever you use that. And the dark green cabinets. We could go dark in this space because we have so much natural light coming through. So we could really go quite dark with the kitchen cabinets. Of course, it's the contrast with this beautiful light marble. It just is beautiful. So this client, she's a really good cook. So she needed a kitchen that would work from a practical point of view, but also obviously look beautiful. So she wanted a range because she likes cooking with gas as opposed to electrics, and it has extra rings on this, so it's a really good, it's almost like a professional cooking range. And then following with the traditional style, we put in a double butler sink with traditional tapware, but this is a modern contraption. So that is a Quaker tap that does boiling water, filtered water, sparkling water, pretty much everything apart from a cup of coffee, but it's still in a traditional look, so it's pretty cool. And the really clever thing, and she insisted on this, which makes, at the time we thought, really, are you sure you need this? But we have a back kitchen, which is superb. So you go in here and you have another sink, you even got so you can clean bigger things easily. We have additional storage, we have another dishwasher, we have another rubbish bin, we have wine fridge. So it's a preparation kitchen, so when she has a dinner party she can do all the prep here, close the door, and everything is hidden, which is brilliant. This kitchen has lots of different hidden cabinets. This is a larder, and there is another one which I'm going to show you later. But also another thing I would like to point out, which is just keeping everything in a minimalistic but still very warm element of texture and style, is that all the brassware is this lovely warm tone, including the taps. It's not gold, it's a sort of nice brushed brass. So the lights is one of my, I really like this light fixture because it goes with traditional, but it's also quite contemporary. And the tone is perfection to go with the knobs and the handles and also the taps for the kitchen. We also added this tone on the back of the island, so it's at the same sort of coppery warm tone. And this lovely from Pinch, solid walnut bar stools, which even had an invitation to be comfortable, which I like. It's the craftsmanship of those pieces that makes the space so special. Now we're going to go through to the dining area, and picture this. So when we took this house on, the first time we saw it, this was very dark. We have added lots of windows to the side. We added windows to connect to the garden. It had some bizarre beams going across, so we cleared it all out and made it the key point to make this space feel inspirational and happy is to add light. So we open as many doors and walls and so on that we could with glass, and so you can see the garden throughout your experience in the kitchen, which makes a really big difference. The whole point was to connect this part, which was an extension and still is an extension, to the rest of the original property, was to add little details which makes all the difference, such as this archway. We created a softness instead of having a boring square opening with beadings, and also be able to make sense of all the horrible electronics you need in properties, which isn't beautiful, but it still has to be there. The other thing that is important was that we created the wooden flooring that went all the way through from the front of the house entrance and into this lovely dining room. So now we're going to go through to the family room. Oh, there is one more, it's a hidden lovely pantry in here. Now we had the arch door coming through to the kitchen. Now we created a double opening going through to the family room with the same arch. It just creates grandeur, it creates sort of space and also light flowing through both spaces. We centered this one to the fireplace, which means that when you're in the kitchen, you always have this gorgeous view into your family room, which is great. This is a tricky space though, because we needed to create a TV viewing. They only have one TV in the whole property. That TV is in this room. And this is where you sit to watch TV. So we created this piece here, and that is a TV unit. And the TV comes up from here. I can't actually show you because I don't dare to touch the buttons, but it comes up and it's a really large TV. But what this piece also did is that it created then an opportunity for us to use the other side of the unit for a banquet seat. This is where the children do all the homework, artwork. And on this side, which is very messy because it's kids using it, it's a bookshelf. So all the homework books and so on, and all the folders can go here. And when they're not doing homework, they can sit in front of the wooden fireplace we put in and watch TV. What I really like about this family is that, yes, they have a really big TV, but you cannot see it. But when they're not watching TV, it's a great time just sit together, fireplace, read. And this chair, for example, which is really cozy, but it's a swivel one, so you can also move it back and you can still watch the TV. But you don't walk into this space feeling that in so many properties we do, you have this designated TV viewing room, and it then feels that's the only focus in that room. But in this room, it's not, but it's there if you need it. Another thing we did in the whole of the property to make it look more beautiful and also having that details put back into the property, more traditional details, was we changed all the covings in each room. And we put in new ceiling roses as well to add to that, and added tiny beading points in different places, such as here, for example. So we have this lovely beading, but of course, it's not just beading. Every one of these are extra storage. And now we're coming into the formal living room, which you can see is quite dark in tone. The luxury when you have two living rooms is that this one is used mainly at night time when people come over for supper, before and after drinks and so on. You can afford to have a darker tone because you don't have to spend all day at this room. What we did here, which makes a very big difference, I think, is adding paneling on the walls all the way around. And also, I love the ceiling. To add the beading, the coffered ceiling, it makes a really big difference to the dimension of the space. This is one of my favorite light fittings. I've used it in some other projects as well because it goes so well in both traditional properties and modern contemporary properties. And the way the light source is within the top of the fitting and it just hits down and this hand-blown glass pebbles, it's just like, it's beautiful. Now, I have to apologize because when we were in the family room, I said this family only have one TV, but they have two, and I've forgotten about this one. And I guess it's the beauty of it, because when it's not on, being a black screen, again, this very dark backdrop, you don't actually notice it at all. And that's why I've forgotten about it, because it's so unnoticeable, which is the way we want it in this space. But it's also nice for parents to be able to come in here when the kids are using the other room. I do like this. So if you open this, it's a bespoke bar cabinet we made. And you also you can pull this out, so you have more workspace to prepare drinks. Every single space that we can use is used for more storage. So now we're coming into the music room. This is the darkest room in the house. Promise it's going to get lighter as we go up. But it is so cozy. If you're really comfortable and cozy when you come into this space. We did the same thing here. We added the coffered ceiling or the beading in the ceiling to get that three-dimensional feeling. We actually left this was wood paneling. That was all here when we took on this house, but we painted this. It's jet black, I think it's actually called the color. The only colors in this room, which is subtle but it's nice, is the sofa and this mustard yellow, the fabric for the cushions, the little side table, tiny trim on the rug, which is all woolen and woven from Scandinavia. And then towards the window there is also the Roman blinds, which is in that mustardy color. But the rest is dark, dark, dark. Ceiling, walls, everything. And we also have an extra little desk for working if somebody needs to have a quiet space to do some work. So now we're on the first landing, and it's just a few things I would like to point out. These lights are made from salt. Yes, it's quite special. They look sort of like moons almost. A really interesting feature, which honestly to this day I don't know why it was here, but a lot of these houses on this road has the same, this sort of turret, this glazed turret. Don't know why, but now it's a beautiful little guest bedroom turret, which we're going to see later on. New cornice, of course, as I mentioned previously, in all the rooms, in all the areas. But we also added this little detail to work with the downstairs, so keep that story moving. And now we're going to go into the principal bedroom. I love this space, by the way. You might notice that all the doors, one color towards the hall, and then we painted all the woodwork and doors the same color as the walls. It just makes this calm space instead of having different tones. We have continued with the paneling. It gives a luxury to it as well, and it works with the property's age. We have not, naturally, we have hidden storage everywhere where we can. So the materials we use in this room, it's quite traditional, heavy woven fabrics. For example, this linen cotton weave, it's super heavy and it's very genuine. The carpet is a flat weave, very traditional flat weave, but in a monotone color, not a pattern. But it is still going with the property's age. The interesting thing is that we use very few colors in this space. It's the same, it's variations of very similar tonal colors, all in this deep burgundy. The bed, for example, is all the same colors, but variations, very slight variations, which makes it feel very calm and pleasing to the eye. We added more paneling behind the bed. Instead of having, which is often done, a big upholstery headboard, we decided to go for the paneling. It felt more in keeping with the property, but we painted it in a darker tone. And then even darker still is the velvet bed, which is all upholstered. It's just to give those gradations. And then we go into softer tones when we come down to the pinks and the neutral colors for the bed. Now, following on with the idea of the different tones of colors and softer and stronger, we're going to go through to the dressing room and the master ensuite. So now we're in the principal ensuite, and this is one of my favorite places in the house. I would love to have this as my own bathroom, to be honest. In this room, which quite often if you see bathrooms, you have shiny tiles, you have shiny white goods, a lot of shiny surfaces, and we've done exactly the opposite in this bathroom. The only shiny surfaces you can see is glass, but you can't get away with that really. But the rest is matte and it's soft, and you want to sort of touch it. It feels very textured and soft when you're obviously in not so many clothing. It's a great feel to it. What you can see here, the paneling is the same dimensions as of the paneling you can see behind the bed in the principal room, and it creates a lovely backdrop to this sort of modern take on a roll top bath. And again, it's matte, which we love. Needless to say, we have storage hidden here as well. Over here we have taken some space, and we have 13 vanity mirrored units into the wall. All the sanctuary in this bathroom, so the taps, the beautiful shower, the bath filler, is all in a traditional style, and it's a company called Samuel Heath, which we work with a lot, and it produces beautiful traditionally made pieces. There is another thing in this property. There are very few ceilings that are painted white. Most of the ceilings here, apart from I think in the entrance, is painted in a color that complements, as a lighter tone of the color that is on the wall. Another thing which is interesting in this space is that, well, it's not interesting, but it's the detail. These lights are the same company that makes them, that you can see above the kitchen island downstairs. And we have, I do like these. These are called bonbons because they look like really yummy sweets. Some companies are very good at making light fittings that you can use in bathrooms as well as in other areas. So you can have the same glass tone. So the color of the glass is the same here as, ta-da! And if you follow me, and the little bonbon on this table, and it makes that continuity between this space, the dressing room, and then the bathroom. And this is the guest bedroom, which is actually used for the family's grandmother. And it has, oh, it's the turret. So you can see the turret here. So this is a bit of a French chateau vibe of the whole room. We have a bed that the client already had, which again is a little bit chateau French. What is lovely about this house actually, as we go further into the children's bedroom as well, is that each person that inhabits the bedroom has made his own selection of wallpaper and colors, with our guidance of course. So this is her selection of wallpaper and the color tone of this space, which is great. I love it. You can see we have the paneling carrying on, and there are hidden cabinets behind the paneling, of course. So we have created an ensuite for this bedroom, which wasn't here when we took on this space. I will show you later how we stole some space from the adjacent bedroom, which is the young boy's bedroom in this family. Behind the paneling, again, we have more storage. This is the wardrobe. And then we have this ensuite, which is a sliding door. And this is a lovely little ensuite, again, quite traditional. And it's got a shower and a toilet and a sink. Perfection. So this is the room of the son in the family. What we did for each room, we consulted the child or the adult, but the child in this case, what he liked and what he had in his wish list. And guess what? One of the big things on his wish list was a climbing wall, of course. Like, of course you're going to have a climbing wall. It's really cool though when you work with kids, because when you can make it happen for them, it's brilliant. We did add a mattress just in case there would be falls. But the really cool thing with this climbing wall is that it has different difficulties. So you can actually change these things as you get better at climbing and make it more difficult, which is pretty awesome. So the interesting thing is that this wall is actually the back of the bathroom in the room that we were just visiting. We stole a little bit of space on this bedroom that is large anyway, so we could afford to do so. But to make it look like we didn't steal anything, we created this whole joinery, so it's one plane. It is not back and forth. So this is his wardrobe. He has lots of space for drawers. And then and this was also on his wish list, he has a mezzanine. He's got another level he can jump up to, have his maid sleeping over. And the super cool thing with this, which he also wanted, is that he wanted to be able to go from his mezzanine on a rope and land straight in his bed. Of course, it's quite fun. But what it also enabled us to do was get so much floor space out of this footprint, and also get lots of storage. All of it is bespoke. So we have wardrobes, the bed has drawers all the way around it, then we had the bookshelf, and the wallpaper, which he selected himself out of a series of, well, we gave him some options, but he liked blue and he also liked underwater. And this was the one that was selected, which is Wales, and it's called A Whale of a Time. We also taken that then, the theme of underwater. This is all softly upholstered, so soft. And we created this wavy headboard for his bed. And of course, this is quite nautical as well, with a rope. And we also, for him not to fall out of his mezzanine, but that's also very nautical, this netting. Going on to his desk, which has lots and lots of things. So all of it has all the practicalities he would ever need. Now we're going to go through to his ensuite, which is great. And carrying on with the color that he likes, which is the blue, the light blues. There's a lot of blue in here, and what we were really pleased, we found this super nice, well, it's just lovely. These taps, which are looking traditional, but it kind of with a contemporary take, because they are blue. And we have this lovely sink, which is an old-fashioned looking sink, but it is blue. And then we have the details here in the shower with the same. We have a shower head that is blue, the handles are blue, and hand shower is also blue. The tiles was chosen because they're playful, but then again, it's very important we feel that, I'm not going to say his age, but he's quite young now, but he's going to become a teenager. And this room would be equally lovely for a teenage boy as a young child, which is what you want to achieve. And now we're going to go up to the final floor of the property. We have 2 more bedrooms to take a look at. I just want to mention the staircase. We put a new one in order to be able to have headroom for the boys' ensuite. We also have a utility room in that door, and underneath this new stairs we have storage, of course. So now we're in one of the girls' bedrooms. We have 2 girls in the family, and the trick was to create similar space for all the children. So the boy has a mezzanine, the girl has now also got a mezzanine. We had the same ceiling height all the way through this room. We open it up to create this lovely space and also put a window in up there to get the light coming through. And it makes such a big difference from what before was sort of dark, sort of bit, and now it's exciting, it's dramatic. So high on this girl's tick list was sport. She's a really sporty girl, super active. So we managed to get a piece of sport equipment in here, which is quite fun because you can't see all the pieces you can attach to it, but there are so many different options you can do. So apart from doing lots of gymnastic and exercises and sport, a girl needs to sleep. And because it's not a massive floor space, we did everything built in, snugly, cozy, bespoke. I love the shape here actually. It looks like a little house, but it also obviously mirrors the shape of the ceiling above. And in here she has all her needs taken care of. She has spaces for books, she has spaces for her clothes, and on this side as well, wardrobe space. And now in for her shower room. This is incredible. Just the colors in here, it makes you feel really happy. It's the same thing as the master ensuite in a way, because nothing is shiny. It's all matte and considered palette. The tilers hated us, I cannot tell you, because to do the pattern with this going that way and then this way and running seamlessly throughout, it's not as easy as it might look when it's finished. And even these tiny mosaics, it feels like you're almost like a quilted effect. It just makes the space feel really lovely and soft, but also dramatic. Another feature in here which we love using is this towel rails, which looks like a ladder. So it's less bathroomy, it looks a bit more cozy, and they're heated as well, which is great. And then of course a little seat if you get tired when you showered. And that's it really. Lots of space to store things obviously. And now we're coming into the final kids' bedroom. And this also has a mezzanine. All the children has a mezzanine each, which is kind of a good thing. This has a small footprint, so we also made in for lots of bespoke joinery. So she has this beautiful desk area leaning into storage area, bedside table, which is great, and a very nice quilted headboard. And also what we love doing as well to make sense of the space and make it look sort of in a nice color coordination. Wallpaper, but also the radiators are absolutely matched with the wallpaper, so they don't stand out so much as a normal radiator. You might notice that in the other room we had stripy wallpaper, vertical stripes, which makes it really soar up to the skies as we have such a high ceilings. In this room we've done the same but with wood instead, because this wallpaper she selected, or we helped her select, it's more organic. So this is how we made sure the eye is drawn up to this lovely space above. We created this kind of, I don't know, it's kind of magical, isn't it? Sort of Alice in Wonderland-esque bookshelf with storage in between as well. And then, which is very nice, this arch leads through to her own ensuite. Another delight. Now actually the girls, which I didn't mention in the other bathroom, they were or really like rose gold. So we managed to find this lovely, lovely taps which are all rose gold, and they look like lilies or flowers, which the girls also really liked. Still not liked by the tilers, because we created these patterns that goes from the floor up to the wall, and they didn't like that much either, because it's not easy. It looks so simple when it's done, but it's not so easy when you're doing it. It's a little bit tricky. But it's a really lovely bathroom. The other thing I didn't mention in the other one is the sinks, the cast sinks, which are made of cast in cement actually. And you can get them in such fantastic colors, which makes it so much more homely and fun than just having a wide sink. It makes a massive difference. And then all the joinery below we had made bespoke. What else we got in here? We got a little dressing table, and we also got a walk-in wardrobe. So basically, all the family has amazing en-suites, amazing bedrooms, and nobody loses out. Everybody has their needs looked after and seen to, which is just such a joy for us as designers to be able to give back to our clients to make them happy in their homes and not squabble over space. Amazing, love it. Thank you so much for being on this tour with me. I thoroughly enjoyed showing you around this beautiful house. Now, if you want to see some more of our work, you might love it, hate it, but you will love it. Follow us on Instagram below. Bye!